Hello and welcome to Rauta's Dark Ambient Review. Now previously I've done some synthwave reviews in addition to metal reviews and of course a little bit of rock here and there. But as dark ambient and the related genres are also something that I truly enjoy and been enjoyed for more than 2 decades. I think it's worth mentioning and reviewing some of the interesting stuff that I've requested for the channel because this is music that I love. This one is Tenhornedbeast with the album called The Lamp of No Light and another title Hymns for the York Doomstone. Now, mind you, this has nothing to do with stoner nor doom, metal that is, but this is very much music of doom and darkness and all that stuff. This is, according to the information I read, related to an actual stone from centuries past in the city of York, put there by Romans, it seems. That is way before British era and all that stuff. And that is related to, condemned to hell. That is if I understood correctly all this stuff here. Now, if you wonder why there's no booklet for lyrics and all that stuff, well, let me remind that dark ambience is mostly instrumental music, no vocals, no rhythms, no patterns, no melodies, etc. That makes it fascinating, as opposed to people listening to more traditional music, especially the kind of Western types where you go with, chords and you have certain patterns, how the songs are structured. You can pretty much hum and whistle to it and just kind of enjoy those happy moods or even melancholic and dark music. That applies to metal, rock, etc. in so many ways. Doesn't matter whether we are talking about pop music, classical music, or variations of all these different styles. Dark ambient is very, very much a different breed. I'll try to sum it up easily so I don't make a 30-minute of a video, because some people have been requesting me to just, review some of the dark ambient ones, and this is one of the first ones I'm going to present you here. Now, Tenhornedbeast is not exactly something that we could say a newbie to the genre. First of all, the background of the band goes as far in the history as 1990. That is, the artist known as Endura lasted for a little bit like 10 years or so, or early 90s, if not even 1990. And one of the guys of this duo that has ceased to exist so many years ago created this Tenhornedbeast as a solo project. And much like Endura, this is focusing on dark ambient, but coming from a dronier aspect. Drones, mean other than just those flying vehicles, unmanned ones, but in this case it means the type of music we're talking about. They're very much the kind of stuff that is indeed drony, humming and buzzing sounds, and once again, no melodies, no instrumentations as such, no spoken parts, no singing. So kind of un-music, as I like to call it, or anti-music, doesn't really matter. Overlapping, not exclusive terms in this context. So what matters here is that you kind of give yourself into these humming and buzzing and all other ways to describe music which lacks those rhythmic patterns, percussions, drums, etc. You don't hear the kind of a typical instruments known as, guitar or drums or fucking trombones. I mean, you don't have the brass instruments to play there. It's more about something that is very untouchable in so many ways. You kind of tap into these frequencies, which then again kind of feed your imagination in various ways. For me, often this kind of music takes me to the various crypts and underground places, letting me go into the darkness. That might be very autumnal, like I feel this album is doing. Maybe it's because a little bit rainy outside, even though it's midsummer and all. But also because there is certain kind of darkness present. Not so much maybe evil, but a little bit sinister, like as if something bad is about to happen, as if you're walking down into some dark corridor. There are no lights, you can barely hear your own breathing, but you still feel there is something inside that darkness. Maybe there is nothing except your own imagination, and I guess, in a way, when I'm listening to dark ambient, what makes it so fascinating is because I'm reflecting myself onto the music. And then again, maybe because of my rather wild or weird imagination, I am kind of too biased to comment that this music really fits my imagination about darkness and ominous things and all that stuff. And that's why this album rocks my socks off. You know, because of these songs that have no clear patterns or percussions or those rhythmic things or vocals, whatever, it's fascinating because it's just like some nocturnal music. Not the best time. Now, I've been listening to this album during daytime and morning time, but still, it makes things click the right way. It's as if this darkness transformed in the music, and these wavelengths are beautifully yet very dark ways buzzing into my mind. It's all about those humming noises and all the zzz, a little bit droniness and all that stuff. Various adjectives can be attached to this kind of music, and it's not like so much things happen. It's more about how they happen and what kind of frequencies are being used. Now, when it comes to dark ambient, obviously there are variations of the genre. Some have more humming, almost rhythmic patterns. Some have almost like echoes of a human sound, and some barely. Almost nothing happens. There are artists like Lol, which are very minimalistic in nature, and I fucking love it. But maybe for some people it's just too much. Like going to those frequencies, which can be like, something annoying is happening. It's almost like some machine is making a constant low noise, and you can't really figure out where it's coming from. I'm talking about washing machines and laundromats and whatever, but with a little bit of a weird twist. Sometimes it might be some kind of a generator. I mean, let your imagination go wild and beyond it. And that's where you start shaping these things, let's call them elements. And that's what makes this beautiful. Now, about Tenhornedbeast, I think this album is far from being the most minimalist of type of them all. But it's also quite far away from the most versatile and more musical type of dark ambient, falling into the middle. Kind of safe ground, if you will, in this context. But mind you, this might still be way too much if you're an entry-level person listening to this kind of genre for the first time. Now, this is not the easiest ways to get into the music, but nonetheless, this is a good album, definitely. So I do like this one. Maybe because nothing too much happens, but also because it just seems to push all the right buttons. Now, it might sound weird and it's hard to describe this kind of music because you really can't say how the drummer plays, what kind of chords are being used, or what kind of a jugga things are happening. None of that happens here. You can't really comment the vocals because there are none. You can't really comment on the string instruments because there are none, once again. So I urge you to give this one a shot. I think it's worth listening because this is a good album. A great album, in fact, in so many ways. Could be one of the better ones over the years when I give it more time to kind of grow on me. But based on few listens now, I must say this is a good album and it totally deserves your attention. So give it a go or give it not. If you're a genre tourist, maybe this is too much for you to handle. If you're a veteran to the genre, you're kind of bound to like it. I'm guessing anyway. Thanks for watching the review. Should you have any comments or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Take care and see you soon with more reviews coming away.